Hey, this is Cornelius Lindsey, and welcome to the Silent Majority. You know, with growing partisan distaste amongst many voters, there's a silent majority that's growing that doesn't find a home in either of America's two major political parties. People don't know how to identify themselves, and a large number of people are simply not voting. Of all the voters, many people are just unsatisfied with either the candidates or the system. This silent majority is growing, and we have something to say. Welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hey everybody, welcome to a Silent Majority. We're gonna recap night 2 of the Republican National Convention. I got my good friend Stephen Ivey. He's back with me to go through a lot that was said tonight. Stephen, glad to have you a part. Glad to have you on the Silent Majority. You have entered the fray, and I know that you have something to say, man. I'm glad to have you back with me.
Man, I'm glad for the invite back. And man, there's a lot that happened tonight.
There was a lot there was definitely a lot to happen tonight. So let's start this way. Wins. Who do you feel like, if at all, kind of carried the night with the speech? Who do you feel like was kind of a drag? Do you have anybody at all?
You know, honestly, I probably feel like the strongest speech of the night was Eric Trump.
Really?
I feel like he was the strongest speech of the night because, and when I say strongest, we're talking about not because it was so accurate, right? I'm talking about strongest in the sense of convincing, strongest in the sense of message. Like, he stayed on his topic. His topic was foreign policy, American strength. My dad did this. So, you know, yesterday we were talking about rhetoric versus,
results.
Your actual record. Yeah, right. Your results and record. Yeah. So it's like with this tonight, I felt like he was the guy that said, let me just talk about the result. But I don't agree with everything that he said. So, you know, it's a balance for sure. Yeah, but I feel like the snooze fest though, bro.
You did? You did?
The snooze fest on the last one.
Melania.
Trump. Bro, this speech lasted like 25 minutes almost.
Who was the photographer? That's what I want. Did you hear the photographer? It's like the lady behind President Trump was looking over like, y'all gonna keep doing this? Like, yeah. Is anybody gonna sign a photographer? The photographer's like, look, I'm tired. Click. Like, how many pictures did he have to get? I was like,
my goodness.
The photographer definitely won tonight.
He won tonight. Man, I just, you know, I don't know. I felt like her speech was the worst because it felt more like an autobiography.
Huh.
It didn't feel like this is what my husband can do for the country. It felt like, here's what I've learned from being in America, and here's what I've learned from being around politics, and here's what I've learned. And because she kept ending phrases of things like, and I'm appreciative for that, and I'm grateful for that, and I thank you for that. Like, well, this isn't about you. Why are you talking about you right now? This needs to be a speech about your husband and what he can do for this country. And so I think there was about 2% that and 98% autobiography.
Well, and I think a lot of her speech was appealing. I know I was here. I listened to pundits earlier saying that her speech was to appeal to mothers. When she talked about her kids, it was supposed to appeal to women. It was also supposed to appeal with those you know, immigrant. With like the same people who kind of had her like immigrant story, to kind of carry over into the fact that, you know, she knows several different languages and English may not be her strongest one. But to be able to, for somebody sitting at home to say, you know, that's my first lady. And, you know, for somebody like me who grew up in America, America is not all that I know, but America is home to me. So, and I speak English. It's just that's my first language. Unfortunately, it's my only language unless you count Ebonics and slang and Southside Atlanta, Clayco, Riverdale. You know, unless you throw that in there, then maybe I'm a little more diverse.
It counts.
But I think that those people sitting at home were a bit fascinated. I thought that the young lady who talked about abortion
Oh yeah.
That was very cutting. She mentioned, you know, I actually have a podcast where I brought in a woman, Catherine Davis, who has been pro-life. She's been doing pro-life work for many years. And she talked about this the same way that most of these abortion clinics are located in black and brown majority areas. But I think she went very graphic in talking about being in that hospital room and watching that baby fight from being suctioned out, and she saw that child's spine coming out of the mother's womb, and the doctor's words were, "Beam me up, Scotty." I don't think there is a mother alive that can listen to that and not be moved by that. As a man, I was moved by it, but that was extremely graphic. In my opinion, her words were as comparable to the young lady who said that my dad died from coronavirus and that his only pre-existing condition was believing Donald Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, honestly, you know, the way she went into such great detail, of course, did bring a level of authenticity to it. Because, again, these are some of the issues that Republicans are going to be thinking about, even those who may not have been in favor of Trump, you know, in all of his decisions. Republicans let's be honest, they're trying to save some of the Republicans who jumped off the bandwagon, right? So,
and let's talk about them. Let's really talk about them, because it's, you know, the Lincoln Project is growing. But I was having this conversation with a fellow Democrat, and he was saying, you know, Cornelius, listen, all these Republicans, they're basically telling a story. The Republicans don't even want them. But let's kind of go down. Let's go down the line of just some of the Republicans. Jeff Flake just came out. Jeff Flake hates Donald Trump. I mean, if Mitt Romney went over there, Mitt Romney hate Donald Trump. It's like the guys who've already come out, like, you know, John Kasich, who came out and spoke at the convention, he hates Donald Trump. Michael Steele, the black guy who once ran the RNC, he hates Donald Trump. He's hated Donald Trump since he came on the scene. So it's like these guys who have already made this jump. I think for Donald Trump's base, it makes them more emboldened to say, you know, even these guys, like he's draining the swamp so much that he's even pulling out these guys who were really never Republicans to begin with. They're just, as Donald Trump was, they're just rhinos. So, I mean, let's talk about that. As a registered Democrat, when you see all these Republicans coming together, coming out in the Lincoln Project, coming after Donald Trump and stating, our objective is to make sure he does not get reelected, and to make sure any senator or representative who supports him does not get reelected. What does that do for you? For me, what it looks like is the bed that Donald Trump made for himself. That's what it looks like for me. Because let's be honest, they tried to make a case. When I say they, I mean the Republican Party tonight in several speeches tried to make the case that for some reason, the Democratic Party, or at least those who oppose Donald Trump, are in favor of censorship. In other words, we don't want these people to be able to say what they want to say, so we're going to censor what they say, and we're going to make sure they can't speak their mind. Let's be honest. Donald Trump did that the first year in office. Anybody who opposed him or thought differently than him, he was kicking them out. You want to talk about draining the swamp? He was kicking everybody out. He didn't care. It was just like, if you disagree, get out. Here's the door. You know? So when I see this, it looks like the bed that he made. It's like other Republicans saw that, like, there's no honor. There's no honor here. So if I disagree with you, I might as well stand up right here and now and say I disagree with you. So for me, that's what it kind of feels like. Yeah. Yo, you made this bed, lady, lay in it. Oh, yeah. And, you know, I've had people come to me and they say, you know, Donald Trump created a lot of that base who is, you know, many people say is extremely racist, so on and so forth. We even have to go back to when President Obama ran for president against John McCain. I never forget I think it was an older white woman who stood up at one of John McCain's rallies and said, she was then talking about then Senator Barack Obama. And she said, we can't trust him. He's not American. He wasn't born and raised here. And that's when Senator John McCain grabbed her microphone and said, no. He's a fine man, blah, blah, blah. And some of the people in there booed him. Some of the people got up and walked out. It was in that moment that a lot of pundits said that John McCain lost a good amount of people who were going to vote for him because he was refusing to really go along with the same ideals that, Barack Obama was not a natural citizen. He was not truly American. He was all these things. So I think in many instances, it again is the rhetoric that comes from the White House emboldens a lot of that other rhetoric that kind of gets thrown out there. I think tonight though, they tried to paint this broad picture. So I got to ask you about this. I got to ask you what you thought about, the beginning. Did you see the pardon with John Porter or no, not John Ponder? Do you see the pardon? It was the black guy who was he was convicted for robbing a bank. And the guy who arrested him was standing there with Donald Trump as well. And Donald Trump, the guy who arrested him was telling a story. Basically, I arrested him. I took him to a store. I got him a coffee and something else. And the black guy sent the arresting officer. He sent him a necktie and also sent him a letter basically saying, thank you for treating me like a human. And he has since been released. He started a new program to help prisoners kind of be reformed. And Donald Trump right there, he pardoned him. But then going to the next one was that naturalization ceremony.
Oh my God. What? All right. Wait.
I got to tell you what my wife said. After you say what you say, I got to tell you what my wife said.
All right. Listen, can we just be honest? I mean, we're in the fray.
Hey, take it away. Take it away.
Am I the only one who felt like that was the biggest joke ever? Like, it just felt like, what a joke. Like, what a staged, completely, and badly at that, right? And badly at that. The guy from Homeland Security who's reading he can't even halfway read the rights to become an American citizen. He can't, and then the names. So
yeah, the name. I looked at my wife when he was talking about the names, and before he got ready to do the names, and I was like, "This is about to be comedy." I just knew it. And the last guy, I knew that name. I just knew it was about to be butchered. And Donald Trump, he tried to clean up. He said, and a beautiful name, by the way.
The names killed me, man.
Yeah.
I just felt like this. Again, for people who are looking for authenticity, right? It just seems like, okay, this is for the guy that we know has characterized himself. And again, not basing off of the media and what they say. We're talking about what's come out of this man's own mouth. What I would consider to be, at least in my 35 years, to be the most strict president when it comes to immigration and immigrants, and literally more so taking the position of keeping people out of this country, to now be here doing the exact opposite that he said the entire time. Like some of the people standing in front of him, he's literally said, "You don't belong here. You shouldn't even be here." But now he's making the case of, well, now you did it the right way, and you followed the law, and now you're part of this great country. And let's just be honest about the rhetoric that he used during that, because that's what really took me over. When he said that it's the most prized, treasured, cherished, and priceless possession anywhere in the world, American citizenship.
When he said that, I was thinking some other countries would probably be like, bull. that was my thought, only because of listen, I believe that President Trump, one thing I take my hat off to him, he used everything at his disposal.
Oh,
because
my God.
Knew this was television. He used the ability
That's
to
it,
give
bro.
a pardon, which,
Come on.
I mean, when I watched that, my wife almost started crying because the guy didn't know he's about to be pardoned. And when
Man.
Donald Trump said to him, "You're getting ready to be pardoned," that was a big moment.
It was
I
a
don't
big
care.
moment.
I don't care. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't
That's
care if
true.
you hate Donald Trump. That was a big moment because for him
is
and for
true.
his family, that meant a lot.
Absolutely.
For the naturalization ceremony, to us, that, I mean, to some people, it's like this is just political theater, da, da, da. But for some people sitting at home, for them who probably don't keep up with politics, they work 2 or 3 jobs. They don't have time to keep up with this mess. They're trying to make sure their kids learn it. Their kids are learning. They can even stay up to watch this because they have to be up in the morning, like I do, to go and take their kids to school. All those different things. It's like,